and we were telling them about that, but they were telling us it was a really nice arena. Walked in, and yeah.
Now we have 4 WFTDA teams facing off this weekend. We've got Forest City from London. We've got the host team, Hammer City, from right here in Hamilton, Ontario. And we have Rideau Valley, Roller Girls, the Vixens out of Ottawa. And we have your ladies from Calgary, Alberta, who have come a long distance to play some sanctioned games against Canadian compatriots.
Yeah, definitely. It's when they got the word on this tournament, they really didn't want to miss it. It's out in Alberta. We've got they're the only full WFTDA team. We've got a couple apprentice leagues. It's just really tough for them to get the WFTDA play in. As we've seen, they last played WFTDA action in February for the Wild West Showdown, and then they've kind of been just not doing much. A few local games, but nothing. And it's they've been getting frustrated because they debuted at 88, and they've watched, due to inactivity, watched their ranking drop down to 105. And so they're looking to really ramp that up against Rideau Valley, which I believe is 47.
Rideau Valley coming in at 47th. That's correct. And, when you look at the rankings, you figure 105 versus 47, a huge rankings mismatch. Not going to be a good game. I beg to differ. I watched these Calgary skaters at the Wild West Showdown. They really brought it there. They've got some great experienced skaters on the team. I'm expecting to see a lot from the Albertans today. And I expect this to be one of our. I think this may be one of the tighter games of the day. I really do.
I think so too, and I know Calgary has some really lofty goals in order to increase their ranking, but they've got a few numbers in mind, and so they're. Are we supposed to stand too?
Yeah, we're supposed to stand too.
All right.
National anthem time.
All right, so the brief national anthem break there, and then looks like we're getting right to the action. Oh, this
straight into it.
And here we are. We're going to start it off with fellow Team Canada members with Soul Wrecker for Rideau up against Chris My Ass, number 1116 for Calgary.
And again, Calgary will be skating in the green, and in the black are the Vixens from Rideau Valley. Again, Rideau Valley coming in at 47th, Calgary at 105. Both teams looking to move up in the rankings, as always, under WFTDA sanctioned play.
All right, we got the 5 seconds. There we go. Both jammers just pushing that wall. Chris My Ass trying to find the hole. Soul Wrecker makes it through quickly at turn 1 and picks up lead jam. Chris My Ass hot on her quads, though, as both teams regroup. Rideau trying to take that back wall. Soul Wrecker calling it off, and a 0-0 jam to start it off. I think this is, it might be a lot of what we see today, Lou, is just both teams have really strong jammer rotation.
That they do.
So they're both going to be busting out, and I think it may be a low-scoring game. So
looks like we're going to see easy break oven from Calgary taking off against Ostentatious. Second jam of the game. No points on the board.
Ostentatious just running into that shoulder of Mamacita Muerte as she tries to take that inside line, and easy break oven, making it through with lead jam. Ostentatious still stuck in the pack. A Twitchblade to deal with up front there. Kiki Tiki Bang Bang and Mamacita Muerte recycling, and up comes Lucy Flawless as easy break oven hits the back of the pack. Quick through. She's getting chased there, and a grand slam. 5 big points for Calgary, first on the board.
First penalty of the game going to Sister Disaster, number 30 from Rideau Valley. That lightens the pack for the ladies in black. Jam called off. Easy break oven picking up an additional 2 points on that jam before having to call it off. A 7-point jam for easy break oven, second jam of the game. 7-0 is the score for Calgary over Rideau Valley. And Rideau Valley waking up early in this morning, finding out that Calgary is no joke. 4-on-2 pack advantage for Calgary. Lots of real estate for number 22. That's Moulin Bruise jamming for Calgary.
Up against Soul Wrecker for Rideau Valley. Moulin Bruise trying to find that inside line. Moulin's really fun to watch because she doesn't drive. She's a smaller jammer, so she doesn't drive the same. She just kind of picks her holes and just keeps going, trying to fake out and get that big hit. Oh, and multiplayer block. The Moulin Bruise through, picking up lead jam as Soul Wrecker is still stuck behind that wall of green.
Yeah, Murphy and Brennan had done a great job of holding Moulin Bruise back, but eventually that multiplayer block springing her from the pack, and she's got 5 points as Wrecker is still in that pack, and only Brendan out there to help her.
Yeah, it looks like Mickey Fickey also went to the box for a multiplayer block. Susie Smoke Show giving chase, but Soul Wrecker through. Moulin Bruise going through, picking up another 4 big points for Calgary. And so that gives us, my math is off because I forget what that would be.
It
9
was
and
7 to start and 9 in this one.
There we go, 16-0 to start off. This may be a classic example of Ottawa ignoring the West again.
And it could also just be that penalties have been an issue early on for Rideau Valley. They need to clean up their game. 3-on-3, they're keeping their jammer rotation tight with Ostentatious out there. Calgary going with the extended jammer rotation with Lockjaw Lila getting lead jammer.
Now Ostentatious hot on her quads. So both jammers there racing around the pack, hit it about the same time. Lockjaw Lila going to try to pick up a few points. Twitchblade, I missed the call, but she's going to head to the box, which leaves 3 blockers out there. Both jammers making it through.
First points of the game on the board for Rideau Valley. 4 points aside so far in that jam.
Ostentatious hitting that wall with Barely Legal, just knocking her in. Now we've got Barely Legal trying to drop her back successfully as Lockjaw Lala makes it through, picking up another 4 big points for Calgary.
Lila coming around, another scoring pass. Ostentatious with 4 points. Coach Lime traveling with Calgary, running this jam, clearing the penalty box. 2 more points for Lila as the jam gets called off. Another big jam for Calgary. 26 points on the board. That was 10 points for Calgary on that last jam. Rideau Valley now with 8. And we're going to get 5-on-5 roller derby action underway again after all those penalties we had in the last couple of jams.
And again, fellow Team Canada members, Chris Myhouse up against Soul Wrecker. They both have a pretty good idea of what to expect from the other after they played Gotham the other week. I know Chris Myhouse had a really strong performance. I didn't hear about any of the other stats, so I'm not sure how the other jammers did. Chris Myhouse trying to make her way through the inside. Soul Wrecker finding that hole in the outside, getting through with lead jam. Chris Myhouse going to give chase.
The Wrecker going to have to be careful as Chris is coming around. Calls off the jam. Nothing for Chris Myhouse, so we're just going to check and see. How many points? 3 points for Soul Wrecker.
Yeah, it looks like Kiki Tiki did a nice job of protecting the points at the end there. So she was up front of the pack, skated forward as Soul Wrecker was calling it off. So Soul Wrecker didn't get those points.
Calgary continuing with the 4 jammer rotation. Easy break oven taking the star number 302 for Calgary. And again, the back-to-back jamming for the Vixens. That's number 91, Ostentatious.
Wow, some really, really solid walls by both teams here as Easy Break Oven makes it through to the outside, just hugging that outside line.
That's number 9, Bottom picking up an out-of-play block as she tried a last-ditch effort to keep her in the pack.
Twitchblade doing a nice job dropping Ostentatious all the way back around as Easy Break Oven goes through and picks up 4 big points for Calgary.
Easy Break Oven back in the pack. Ostentatious still unable to get out. She's got 1 to beat, and she's going to escape now, so Easy Break will have to be careful.
Yeah, she just narrowly avoided that cut track, and there she looks around, sees Ostentatious coming, and decides better of it, calls it off. Picks up 3 quick points. 0 points for Rideau on that one.
Yeah, she tried to take a quick outside line on Black Eye to see if she could get those extra points, but Black Eye had her and knocked her out of bounds. Timeout being called by the Vixens. We've got 22 minutes and 55 seconds remaining in the first half, and Calgary really taking it to Rideau Valley early on in this game, 33-11. And I think you mentioned it a bit earlier. I think Rideau Valley caught off guard by the aggressiveness of the Calgary blockers and the jammers. The jammers are being very physical out there. And other than when they were able to shut down Moulin Bruise for a bit, and she still managed to get out because of the multiplayer block, the jammers for Calgary have had a great deal of success early on in this game, Dick.
Yeah, they certainly have. They've all got the strength, they've got the endurance, and they're able to find those holes. And I think what may be happening here is, Rideau has never seen Calgary play, really.
That's right.
There hasn't been a lot of play from them, so a lot of people don't know what to expect from them. There is a little bit of stuff online with Rideau, and I know Team Alberta and Team Ontario played just a little while ago, and I know the captains from Calgary were up there with Team Alberta and taking notes. So there we go. We got Soul Wrecker up against a Moulin Bruise. Soul Wrecker for Rideau, Moulin Bruise for Calgary. Soul Wrecker pushing her way through. Got Mickey Ficky to beat. She does, makes it through, picks up lead jam. Moulin Bruise struggling at the back of that pack in between turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, Soul Wrecker proving once again why she is on Team Canada. Just an unstoppable force out there. She's around the track, back in the pack, and picking off points in green for Rideau Valley. Moulin Bruise getting drawn back for Calgary. Yeah,
but Soul Wrecker now hitting that wall with Sinistar Mickey Ficky and Mamacita Muerte. Kiki Tiki holding the inside, holding that bridge. Oh, Sinistar, nice little hip check to the inside, drawing Soul Wrecker back to the inside. Moulin still on her initial pass, still having a little bit of trouble getting through. Soul Wrecker finally makes it through 5 big points for Rideau.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Adam, after that timeout, put on about as strong a blocking line as Rideau Valley can manage. They've got Rudolph, Murphy, and Bottom out there. That last line of defense hit by Bottom, knocking Moulin Bruise out of bounds. They're going to drag her all the way back once again, Dick.
Yeah, and Soul Wrecker just picking up 3 points on that last one, but too much of a wall there with the short jammer rotation. I guess she doesn't want to stretch herself too thin, exhaust herself too much, so she decided to just call it off.
Yeah, I mean, some solid hard hits by the pack in green. The Calgary All-Stars doing a great job of holding back Soul Wrecker. She did manage 8 points in that last jam, score now 33-19. That's Ostentatious taking the star against Lila Lockjaw.
Lockjaw Lila through quickly before she even hits turn 1. Lockjaw Lila, again, she's really, really powerful, and that's, as you see, she takes down number 16, Margaret Choke, as Margaret Choke decides to do the face-to-face blocking. Not a good idea with a jammer like Lockjaw.
Anyone who knows Margaret Choke knows she's a very aggressive blocker. not willing to back down from anyone, but Lila really getting the better of her in that last exchange. 4 points for Lila, nothing for Ostentatious.
Ostentatious squeezing through that inside, though, on their scoring pass and picking up 4 points. Lockjaw Lila picking up one more and calling it off. So that was a 5-5 jam. I think that was that one was a wash.
5-4 jam, I believe. Well, 5. Yeah,
5-4.
4
sorry,
points
yes.
for the Vixens, 5 for Calgary. There was a whistle at the end, but didn't seem to be any penalties called. So we're going to go back to 5-on-5 derby action once again. And we've got that matchup we've talked about already today. Chris My Ass going against Soul Wrecker. And we're going to get a timeout for Calgary. We should probably mention some of our sponsors, because we do have sponsors for this broadcast out of Hamilton. The Hammer City Roller Girls in Ancaster, Ontario. We've got Mill Street Brewery. They're the beer sponsor of the Hammer City Roller Girls. You can get a Tank House Ale or organic brew in-house or at the beer store in Ontario for sure. I'm not sure where else Mill Street's available across Canada. But we thank Mill Street for being a sponsor of the Maple Stir-Up. And it looks like we are going to an official review here, Dick. Called by Coach Lime.
Yeah, definitely. I've been trying to watch his hand signals to see what he might be challenging. It's tough with him because his hands are always moving, and he doesn't necessarily use the hand signals. So I don't know exactly what this official challenge is, but I'm sure someone will let us know.
Yeah.
And now, while we're waiting for that, I want to mention, actually, I'm very happy about this sponsor, Dr. Disc. It's been an essential destination for music lovers in downtown Hamilton since 1991. Dr. Disc sells new, used, and imported CDs, LPs, and DVDs, and DJ equipment and related accessories. They're supplying Hammer City with all their sound needs for this season. Now, Dr. Disc used to be, when I lived in Hamilton back, the early 90s, that would be the place to go to pick up all my records.
Yeah, and they used to be a ubiquitous chain across Ontario. They've slimmed themselves down to their Hammer City store. I believe that is the last Dr. Disc kicking around. But it's great that they've been around for a long, long time, 23 years.
23 years. I just aged myself, didn't I?
Yeah, man, it's all right, Dick.
Oh, it looks like
yep.
the challenge was successful. Ostentatious is going to sit in the penalty box. So power jam for Chris My Ass.
Yeah, it was interesting. I know at the end of the last jam before it was called off, there seemed to be a whistle, there seemed to be a track cut indicated, but nobody went to the box. So I imagine Lime saw that and decided that he wanted to use his official review. And again, under the new rules, or the 2014 rules, if you take your official review and you win that official review, you get to keep it for a second review. So nice work on the part of Lime. A very experienced coach from the West.
Yes, definitely. He's been doing he's been coaching and involved in derby since about 2007, 2008.
He told me today that this is actually the very first WFTDA sanctioned game he has ever done. He's done over 200 games as a coach. First WFTDA sanctioned game, first official review, and he won it.
All right, here we go. There's the 5 seconds, and off goes the whistle. So Chris My Ass out there with a power jam. She's getting chased to the back. Chris My Ass is she's one of those very aware jammers where even if she doesn't think she has to go all the way back, she will, just to make sure she doesn't get that cut. Always likes to play clean. It's nice job on Rideau there, though. Yeah, keeping her back. She hasn't even hit turn one. We've got Ostentatious standing.
So a power failure for Calgary as the defense from Rideau Valley able to get the job done. That is a hard blocking crew that they have out there. And lead jammer is going to go to Rideau Valley. The call was a back block that had not been issued in the previous jam. That's what Ostentatious was sent to the box on. The call was challenged. Challenge was upheld, and that's why we had a power start. But Rideau Valley able to put out that tough blocking core, and Barely Legal is going to have to let Ostentatious go. 5 points for Rideau Valley.
And Barely Legal making her way to the penalty box as she continued with that block beyond the engagement zone, 20 feet. And I think we've just had a panty pass.
Yes, we have.
As Mickey Fickey now has the panty in her hand, still on the initial pass.
That's Margaret Choke going to the box for a direction of gameplay.
Yeah, I would say it was a nice hit, but it looks like she definitely did step back a bit on that. Rideau taking advantage of a lead jam for Ostentatious here. Ostentatious sneaking up. I don't know what was going on. Oh, nice big hit by Chris Myas, which is... Chris Myas is not known for her blocking, but it's something she's determined to get better at. So I think she did a nice job there to force the call off at least.
She did, and in attempting to draw back the jammer from Rideau Valley, made contact with Murphy, also a Team Canada skater, blocker, was the core of the blocking crew out there for Rideau Valley that managed to hold back Chris at the beginning. And she ended up picking up a direction of gameplay herself. So it's 3-on-3 pack.
Well, when with we've got, I missed the Rideau jammer. We got Easy Break Oven out there for Calgary. I'm assuming it's Soul Wrecker with a 2-jammer rotation. It is. And nice job by Lucy Flawless to knock her out, but she did get called for a forearm, but Twitchblade was right there. So now we got 3-on-2 pack advantage for Rideau, but Easy Break Oven on her scoring pass. Soul Wrecker just finishing her initial. Looks like she did pass Soul Wrecker, so she picked up the full 5 points, and Easy Break Oven with indications from line calling off the jam. 5-0 jam for Calgary.
So at the end of the previous jam, Rideau Valley had managed to draw it back to a 4-point game. Those 5 points now extended to a 9-point lead, 43-34. A palindrome score. You know what that means? If you're sitting at home, you've got to have another sip of coffee. Number 22, Moulin Brews, and we're going to get a change of pace for Rideau Valley. We've got number 30, Sister Disaster, normally a blocker, but has taken the jammer star in several sanctioned games with some success. So we'll see how she does against a Calgary blocking core.
I think I watched her take that star. I was watching a game, Rideau against DC, and she did fairly well. And actually, I think helped manage Rideau to pull off the win in that game. Moulin Brews still on her initial pass, having a little bit of trouble. Sister Disaster coming back up on her scoring pass. Got Susie Smoke Show to contend with. Moulin Brews there just dodging that hit from number 10, Murphy. As I had mentioned before, Moulin Brews does that. She'll watch, very aware, and she sucks in those blockers. They go for the big hit, and she just stops on a dime, and they miss.
And if there's anyone who you don't want to be hit by, it's Hannah Murphy. Again, captain. I believe she's still captain of Rideau Valley Roller Vixens. I should have actually...
I think I actually saw a C on Soul Wrecker's arm.
Was Wrecker wearing the C? There you go.
So, and speaking of Wrecker, there she is. She's out there against Lockjaw Lila. Wrecker trying to take the outside, no lock, dodges to the inside, but Mamacita Muerte quickly taking that inside line. Lockjaw Lila pushing up the front. Almost through, makes it through, picks up lead jam. Soul Wrecker 1 blocker to beat.
Soul Wrecker escaping from the pack as well. Lockjaw Lila doing some nice jammer-on-jammer blocking at the beginning of that jam to lock Wrecker in the back of the pack. Lila's got 2 to beat, 1 to beat. She gets past Margaret Choke. And she's going to keep on running.
As I said, Calgary does have a certain goal that they want to accomplish as far as points go. So they've got Coach Lime there. And he's going to be counting the points to try to make sure they reach that goal. But Lockjaw Lila actually got knocked out.
Yeah, it was a track cut. She got spun around on the outside. Her foot came in. She was fully up. So it wasn't one of those little takesy-backsy cuts. It was full-on cut, and she goes to the box. First power jam of the game for Rideau Valley, and they've got Wrecker out there.
Yeah, that's not a. We may end up seeing a lead change on this next pass here. That was unfortunate for Lockjaw. If she had just picked up that foot, she probably would have been okay. Soul Wrecker getting bumped by Mamacita Muerte, but making her way through 5 points. That's it. That's a lead change.
That is.
Drink up those Americanos. We might as well do some strong coffee first thing in the morning for these drinks.
Calgary defense trying to slow up Wrecker as Lockjaw Lila is out of the penalty box.
And of course, Lockjaw Lila was lead jam when she went to the box, so it went for the full 2 minutes. Lockjaw picked up 3 points on that. Soul Wrecker picked up another 4 as Mamacita Muerte makes a trip to the box. I didn't quite catch what the call was.
The far end of the track, we couldn't see it. Score now 60 for the Vixens, 50 for Calgary. So Calgary was able to put 7 points up in that last jam, but 23 points for Soul Wrecker, making good use of that power jam.
And there we go, Sister Disaster out there again, just trotting along that outside line, catching Calgary's defense a little bit asleep with Chris Myass out there fighting her way past that last line of blockers, just making it through on her initial pass as Sister Disaster gets knocked to the outside on her scoring pass, but does manage to pick up 3, a 3-0 jam. It looks like they may start doing a little bit of nickel and dime and trying to build up this score. I don't think they were happy about the fact that Calgary came out and took the lead, but
I'm quite sure that's true.
But you know, just as a tribute to my co-announcer back in Calgary, I've got to say that with a game this tight, it could go either way.
Could go either way.
That was for you, Big Ugly.
Great work by Lucy Flawless and Twitchblade to limit the points that Sister Disaster was able to get in that last jam as well. So forced to call off.
And here we go. We've got Ostentatious out there against Easy Break Oven. Easy Break Oven getting recycled to the back. Ostentatious making it through, picking up lead jam. Easy Break still fighting her way through. Getting knocked down, but on the inside, so no risk of a cut. She's just back up, and looks like
it's a forearm penalty to Bottoма, sending her to the penalty box.
I believe that was that's her second or third trip to the box, so it might be worth keeping an eye out there. And looks like Easy Break Oven making her way through on her initial pass.
Jam getting called off. Ostentatious picking up all 5 points. She had Easy Break Oven's point before Easy Break Oven got out of the pack. Vixens able to extend their lead to 68-50. That was Ostentatious' first lead jammer of the game. And when you've got your jammers going 1-2, you need to get your second jammer rolling. That bodes well for Rideau Valley if Ostentatious is starting to get her stride.
There we go. Moulin Bruise, who's had a bit of a struggle since her first jam, where she managed to get lead because of the multiplayer a block call. And there she goes.
Speaking of which, that was number 40, Rudolph, picking up a multiplayer block and springing Moulin Bruise from the pack, Dick.
Yeah, the lead jam. Soul Wrecker still stuck in the pack as Moulin comes on her scoring pass around turn 1. And one last blocker to beat. Soul Wrecker out front going to play some defensive jamming, but Moulin Bruise did manage to pick up 5 points on that. And Coach Lime instructing her to call it off. 5-0 jam for Calgary.
Score now 68-55. So, yeah, Moulin Bruise with that jukey style, but a smaller skater. When she's getting stuffed by those Rideau Valley walls, she's having a lot of trouble getting through. But once those multiplayer blocks happen, it opens up a gap, and she's able to find those holes, and that's what she needs. The more physical jammers, like Lockjaw Lila, who's out there right now, she's able to make her own holes, but it's nice to have that variety of jammer in order to change things up on the track.
Yeah, definitely. Lockjaw Lila getting knocked, recognizing that her 1 foot came out, so that was really smart and just rotated back out there against Sister Disaster. So two kind of powerhouse jammers. Sister Disaster also getting knocked back to the on the outside, getting forced to recycle. This is all 3 recycles before turn 1. Lockjaw Lila around turn 2 picks up lead jam as Sister Disaster still fights that a big green monster, as I've come to call it when they're wearing these jerseys. Sister Disaster makes it through, and Calgary and Rideau both resetting as Lockjaw Lila hits the back of that pack on her scoring pass. Being instructed to keep it going, I would guess, because Sister Disaster took a while to get through the first pass. They're going to rely on
the defense.
The defense. And sorry, I had remembered I had mentioned about Lockjaw if she had just picked up her foot on that on the last cut she got, and there she does it on that one and avoids the cut.
Yeah, she's playing with a danger zone on the inside and outside. Blocker went out of bounds. She's going to call it off. She's had enough of getting knocked down to the inside and out. 3 points aside at the end of that jam. 4 points. 4 points for Sister Disaster. That'll get our score to 72 to 62. I believe 10 points separating the teams now. So and even though Calgary had the lead early on in this game, Dick, it's still so far a very good result for Calgary. There's 7.5 minutes remaining in the first half. And I'm quite sure if you ask them, would you like to be 10 points behind Rideau Valley with 7.5 minutes in the first half, they'd have taken that, and that's exactly what they've got.
Yeah, definitely. And there we go. Chris My Ass through with lead jam once again before she hits turn 1. I believe I had mentioned at the beginning of the year with the power rankings that Chris My Ass is definitely a skater to watch, and she has definitely proven me right, and I've watched her get better and better all year. Soul Wrecker out there getting knocked and recycled, still on her initial pass. And Chris My Ass only picked up 4 points on that one. I'm not sure what happened to miss that 5th point for the Grand Slam, but there she's through again. Picking up another 4 big points for Calgary and calling off the jam.
Just in time. So a big jam for Chris My Ass. That's going to bring Calgary to within 2 points of Rideau Valley. The score now is 72 to 70. And yeah, you were mentioning Chris My Ass. She's got that rare combination of strength and agility. So she can work it either way. She can take the jammer or take the blockers on one, make holes through the wall. But if there are holes already there, she has more than enough agility and speed to find them and get her way through. Yeah, definitely. And here we got Easy Break Oven up against Ostentatious. Ostentatious has been really good with getting lead jam. This have you been keeping track of how many leads she's gotten on this? Almost every single time she's been out, I believe she's gotten the lead. Well, she was having trouble at the beginning, but she's 3 for 3 in the last jams that she's been out now. So she's really finding her stride against this blocking core. I don't know if maybe Lime is putting out a different line against her to hold her down, but she's finding gaps this time, Dick. Yeah, and there we go. Easy Break Oven through on her initial pass. Ostentatious calling it off as she gets knocked to the inside. She did manage to pick up 3 points, which brings us to 75 for Rideau, 70 for Calgary. Yeah, she got dumped to the outside by Rudolph. Rudolph having a great season so far with Rideau Valley. And that was forcing the call off. Rideau Valley 75, 71 for Calgary. Down to the 5-minute mark remaining in the first half. And Moulin Brews up against Soul Wrecker. Soul Wrecker, quick work on the outside, picking up lead jam. Moulin Brews finding the same hole and hot on her quads. It's going to give chase, trying to minimize the number of points. And there we go. We've got Calgary trying to speed up the pack and get up to the front. And Soul Wrecker throwing those hips around and picking up 1 point and calling it off. Nice job by Calgary of protecting those points and leaving Soul Wrecker to 1. Yeah, it was an interesting combination of defense and offense from both sides. Rideau Valley trying to pick off a point. Calgary trying to avoid those points from being taken. Both sides, I think, are going to be pretty happy with the result there. I think Wrecker picked off Twitchblade just at the end, but Twitch had been fighting against 3 blockers at the back of the pack, fought her way through, and Wrecker having to call it off with only a single.
Well, Sister Disaster out there and getting called for the cut, as that's going to give Lockjaw Lila a power jam. Not the jammer you want to give a power jam to. Mind you, Rideau's walls are really, really strong, so they may be able to minimize the damage. And number 49
that's
there,
Brennan
getting called for the high block as she bumped into Lockjaw Lila, while Lockjaw was...
Kiki Von Carnage coming way out of bounds, way out of play. Sorry, Dick. Keep on going.
No, that's okay. That was the next thing up, but definitely Lockjaw Lila trying to hold that inside line, but getting knocked out. But we got Sister Disaster. I believe that is her initial pass.
Correct.
So Lockjaw Lila on a scoring pass, and she is through and has picked up 5 points and calls off the jam.
And with those 5 points, we have ourselves a tie.
Wow. And a bit of an advantage here, pack advantage for Calgary to start this next jam, as we'll see Team Canada jammers out there again. Chris My Ass out against Soul Wrecker, 4-on-2 pack advantage for Calgary. Of course, we do have one blocker standing there. That's...
Looks like a timeout called by Rideau Valley. I'm suspecting it's going to be an official review with only 2.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Again, both of these coaches with a lot of experience. Anyone who follows me on Facebook knows I was talking about the coaching duel that we were going to see today between Coach Adam and Coach Lime. We've seen Lime doing a great job of running his jammers, letting his jammers do multiple passes depending on what the defensive and jammer matchups have been, making sure his penalty box clears out. So he's been doing a great job of getting points on the board. And again, the way the WFTDA ranking system works, the more points you put up, the easier it is to keep the ratio down against your opponent. And Calgary coming into this game, in order to maintain their ranking, only needs to score 27% of the points in the game. So the more points they can put up on the board, the easier it is for them to reach that goal. Now over on the other side, Dick, Coach Adam has been coaching for a long time in Ottawa. He's a well-known coach within Ontario, coach of Team Ontario, and we like to call him a difference maker because when he takes his timeouts, he has a good ability to make tweaks to his lines, and we saw that. We saw that with that first time out. Yeah, we definitely saw that
with the first time out.
That's
made
right.
Those tweaks, and that's what helped Rideau get to a point, and then take the lead. Here we go. Chris My Ass up against Soul Wrecker. Soul Wrecker getting knocked to the inside by Mamacita Muerte. Mamacita Muerte dropping back, forcing her to the back as Chris My Ass makes her way through with lead jam. And there we go. Brennan out of the penalty box.
Margaret Choke heading to the penalty box.
Also, just as Rideau Valley's blockers come out, they get one more sent back in, so we still have a 4-on-3 pack advantage. Chris My Ass coming up on her second scoring pass, picking up 5 grand slam on that first one. Soul Wrecker, that's her first scoring pass. Looks like she probably picked up 4. Chris My Ass coming back in and calling off the jam. So a 7-2 point advantage for Calgary on that jam, which will be a lead change, the second lead change of the game.
That's right. 4 points for Rideau Valley, 7 points for Calgary, so a 3-point lead for the Albertans. That last official review was regarding the high block that was called on number 40, Rudolph. Call was not overturned, and that's why Rideau Valley started with 3 blockers in the penalty box.
And here we go, Ostentatious up against Easy Break Oven. Easy Break Oven just driving that in the middle of that pack, trying to escape on the outside. Nice little step over, and she makes it through and picks up lead jam. And a Twitch Blade getting knocked around the pack, and that's not an easy thing to do. Ostentatious fighting that wall with Chris My Ass, barely legal, and Lucy Flawless. She makes it through, but looks like Easy Break Oven on her first scoring pass, picks up 4 points, calls off the jam.
Just enough time to get one more jam in on this half. Calgary with a nice pushback in the last 10 minutes. Really a story of of three 10-minute periods in this first 30 minutes. First 10 minutes, all Calgary. Second 10 minutes, all Rideau Valley. And now Calgary coming back hard. We get one last jam. We'll see who can take the momentum into the dressing room. Right now, it is all in Calgary's favor.
Yeah, it looks like Moulin Brews up against Soul Wrecker, 4-on-3 pack advantage. That solid wall of Kiki Tiki Bang Bang and Mamacita Muerte being breached by, I believe, that Susie Smoke Show. Moulin Brews, 2 more blockers up front to pass, makes it through, picks up lead jam in between turn 1 and 2. Soul Wrecker still fighting that wall. Got Andy Linquint and... Yes, I believe that is Smoke Show. And Mamacita Muerte getting sent to the penalty box as Soul Wrecker makes her way through. Moulin Brews on her second scoring pass and calls off the jam, picking up 3 points.
Time running out in the half. Those 3 points will roll Calgary up to 90. Only 80 for Rideau Valley. That means Calgary's got a 10-point lead going into the half. And you know, Calgary, they're getting lead jammer. They're leading in this game. I'm still impressed by the Vixens' ability with 2 blockers on the track. This time it was Brennan and Black Eye able to hold back the jammers from Calgary with just 2 blockers on the track. They've done a great job of holding their defense. I think Rideau Valley going into this break needs to sit back, reassess this game, and realize that they're going to need to keep their blockers on the track because it's nice that they can hold them up, but their lead jammer is going to Calgary, and that's not helping Rideau Valley.
Yeah, exactly. And even though it's a strong defense with 2, you can't keep that up, especially with a strong 4 jammer rotation that Calgary is using. And I think conversely, Calgary's got to go in that dressing room, and they can't be comfortable with this lead. If they want to come out with the win or keep this game close, they've got to keep fighting, and they may need to adjust their game, as Rideau is probably going to do the same. I've watched some Rideau, and I know I'm actually thinking specifically of the last game I watched against DC, where DC had the lead for a large portion of the game, and in the last 10 minutes, Rideau just hunkered down and pulled out that win.
Yeah, they have been able to find ways to win. They will be at the Kitchener-Waterloo Division II WFTDA playoff that is happening in 2 weekends from now. The second Division II playoff, first one happening in Duluth next weekend. Rideau Valley with a real opportunity to win that tournament if they play their top game. But they are in tough against Calgary right now. It is a 10-point lead. You are watching the Hammer City Roller Girls Maple Stirrup out of Ancaster, Ontario, the Morgan Firestone Arena. I'm Captain Lou Bammo.
And I'm Dick Pounder.
We're going to take a break for halftime. We'll be back with the second half of Hammer City. No. Rideau Valley.
Rideau Valley.
We're in Hammer City. Rideau Valley versus Calgary's All-Stars. back for the second half in Ancaster, Ontario for the Maple Stirrup. First half was a humdinger with Calgary All-Stars taking a 10-point lead going into the halftime over the Rideau Valley Vixens again. Rideau Valley coming in ranked 47th, Calgary in under-ranked 105th. I think everybody thought that they were under-ranked. I don't know if they thought they were this under-ranked. Dick, I'm Captain Lou Bammo, joined on a microphone by Dick Pounder. Great first half.
Oh, yeah, fantastic first half, and I think you're right. I think everyone did realize that at 105 they were underranked, but I don't think they thought it was that underranked. They probably thought it was more around what their debut was, around 88. I know Calgary really wants to make a drive and make D2 playoffs for next year. Big plans there. Of course, Rideau already in D2 this year, so
we'll have to see who can adapt the best in the second half as we get ready to get the action underway. 18 penalties for Rideau Valley in the first half, only 8 for Calgary. Calgary playing remarkably clean, and those 10 penalties really making a difference on the scoreboard. On top of that, 2 jammer penalties for Rideau Valley, only 1 for Calgary. So most of the time the jammers have been on the track, but the advantage has been to Calgary once again in that domain.
Yeah, and it looks like Botema is sitting on 4 penalties in the first half, so she's risking fouling out, which is definitely not something Rideau wants. Starting this off, 4-on-3 pack advantage for Rideau as Mamacita Muerte sits in the box for a multiplayer block.
Chris Myas taking the start, going against Soul Wrecker. Chris Myas held to only 16 points by Rideau Valley. Soul Wrecker with 39. Top scorer for Rideau Valley, bottom scorer for Calgary, and quickly lead jammer going to Soul Wrecker, Dick.
Yeah, Soul Wrecker did a nice job just avoiding that hip check from Twitchblade on the outside, but not so much this time, but she makes it in and quickly to the inside, finding those holes. One last blocker to beat, and she makes her way past Kiki Tiki Bang Bang, picking up 5 big points. Chris Myas getting knocked to the outside once again. Spin around, and again, stuck still on her initial pass, haven't been able to make it past turn 1. There she is on turn 2. Soul Wrecker getting knocked into all the refs, recycled to the back with Twitchblade back there. Mamacita Muerte out of the box.
Great first jam for the Vixens. 5 more points for Wrecker. That's going to bridge the gap entirely. We're back to a tie game. Vixens putting out a top blocking line with Margaret Choke, Brendan Rudolph, and Murphy. Really doing a number on Chris Myas. Once again, looks like they've really been keying on the star jammer from Calgary, really trying to shut her down. Now the question is, can they shut down the other jammers? Easy Break Oven managing 23 points in the first half, and Ostentatious with 31.
And there we go, and both of them out there and struggling a bit against the respective lines, and Chrissy Cruiser giving a nice bump, but Ostentatious just dodging it, getting through with lead jam. It looks like Rideau did a good job of regrouping at the half, and they're coming out strong. They want to definitely make a statement on this, but Ostentatious picking up a back block penalty.
Curse of the announcers, Dick. As soon as you praise one team, they go and send their jammer to the box, but the defense still holding strong out there for Rideau Valley.
Yeah, and then Twitchblade there trying to, with a little bit of offense, trying to help Easy Break Oven out. Still, again, on her initial pass, hitting around turn 3 on her initial pass. Looking a little bit tired as we got Barely Legal coming up, going to try to give her a hand. Of course, creating that pack. Now, recycling, no pack called, and Barely Legal coming in. Big hit. Finally getting Easy Break out on her initial pass, so she's now on a scoring pass as Ostentatious comes out of the box. Quick round the outside, picking up 4 points.
Yeah, so both jammers on scoring passes right now. Ostentatious with 4 of her own. Easy Break Oven in that pack, picking up points. Ostentatious back around and looking for more, Dick.
And Easy Breakthrough picking up her first 4 points of this jam. Ostentatious, one last blocker to beat, and she makes it through. And another 4 points for Rideau. So We do have another lead change. It's going to be see how much of a lead difference it will be at the end of this jam that will go for the full 2 minutes.
Once again, knocked hard to the inside, this time by Sinistar. Ostentatious having to cycle back. The 2 minutes of the jam time out, Dick. 2 more points for Calgary. Another single point for Rideau Valley. We're just checking to see if the score is updated properly. I think it has 99-96. Really interesting jam in that last jam. Even though Rideau Valley picked up the back block to their jammer and sent her to the box, still able to outscore Calgary, showing that defense can still get things done in roller derby.
Yeah, definitely. Easy Break Oven did struggle to get through their blockers there, as we've got Soul Wrecker up against Moulin Bruise. I know Moulin Bruise, did she have what was her first half points?
21 points in the first half. She's getting lead jam for her first jam in the second half.
As Twitchblade gets knocked down by number 10, Murphy. Right back up. Both jammers neck and neck. Soul Wrecker coming up on the back. Both teams trying to race that pack. Soul Wrecker hitting it. Picking up 2 points, 0 points for Moulin. Moulin did not call that off in time.
That breaches the century mark for Rideau Valley. They're at 101.96 for Calgary. That's really the first mistake I've seen made by the Calgary Jammers with a late call-off. You have to wonder if with the limited WFTDA experience, sanctioned experience that they've had, whether they would make those late call-offs a bit more. But no, they've been very disciplined in this game. First time that's happened.
Yeah, definitely. And now we've got Sister Disaster up against Lockjaw Lila, so 2 powerhouse jammers.
Sister Disaster able to pick up 10 points as a alt jammer for Rideau Valley in the first half. Lead scorer for Calgary is Lockjaw Lila. She had 40 points in the first half.
And Sister Disaster just having a heck of a time on that green wall as Lockjaw Lila finds her way out the outside. Picks up lead jam, and
that's Bottomo once again going to the box, Dick.
4 and out of play. That makes her 5th penalty.
It is
there. Lockjaw Lila coming around for another scoring pass. As Sister Disaster makes it her way through on her initial, and Lockjaw Lila through, picking up 4 more points, calling off the jam.
That's going to bring us to within a single point. Triple digits for both teams now, 101-100. I'll tell you, Mickey Ficky and Sinistar really working over Sister Disaster in that pack. The 1-2 punch of the ladies in green held Sister Disaster in that pack for a long time. That allowed Lockjaw Lila to pick up those 4. And the score, 1 point separating these teams.
And here we go on the Coffee Dog jam line. Once again, Chris My Ass up against Soul Wrecker. Soul Wrecker getting knocked out by Twitchblade and Lucy Flawless. Recycling them back. Flawless did go out, but Twitchblade did drop them back. And Chris My Ass through with lead jam, hitting turn 1 on her scoring pass as Soul Wrecker continues through the pack.
Chris My Ass calling it off. 4 points, Dick.
That's another lead change.
It is indeed.
I think at this point you got to start having real drinks and not just coffee with the excitement. The coffee is just going to give you a heart attack.
That's right. You'll have the shakes and shivers by now. And the action on the track is more than enough to do that to you on its own. Switch to water if you're drinking too much coffee, people. We got number 302, Easy Break Oven, taking the star against Ostentatious, number 91 on Rideau Valley.
And it's some 5-on-5 derby action. And Easy Break Oven taking a bit of a trip, but finding that inside line, a huge gaping hole, and picks up lead jam. Ostentatious not too far behind her. She's going to get through and try to minimize the damage that Easy Break Oven coming up on her scoring pass will do. Easy Break Oven... stepping to the outside and getting called for the cut track. Ostentatious hitting that wall of green, and we've got some offense happening from Rideau. Nice job of Calgary's defense holding Ostentatious back. Mamacita Muerte knocking over her own player at the same time as Ostentatious. That green wall just keeps reforming no matter how hard Rideau tries to break them up. They just get back in there.
That great defense by Calgary, able to hold up Ostentatious, killing the majority of that penalty before she get her scoring pass in. Power jam is over. Ostentatious through for 5. That's going to change the lead once again, Dick.
Yeah, but there we go. Easy break oven, quick through, picking up 4 points of her own. So that it's a 3-point lead now for Rideau. As these blockers are focusing on blockers as well as jammers. Calgary doing a nice job. Some old school goading. They've got a blocker back there, allowing Easy Break Oven to make it through, picking up 4 more points for Calgary.
Star pass has happened. Restless Rose, number 15, the pivot for Rideau Valley, is now the jammer, though she is inactive. She does not have the star in her head at the moment. Question is, will she put it on? She's on a scoring pass, so she won't be picking up any points for anyone she gets past.
And Mamacita Muerte knocking her to the inside. Kiki Tiki dropping back. Big hit by Easy Break Oven, picking up 5 points. Another lead change, Lou.
Yes, indeed. Calgary back in the lead at 117 to 112. Those final 5 points broke the tie that we had crawled our way to. That initial lead jammer to Easy Break Oven was a result of Bodema giving up that inside line, and she looked like she thought about going in for the hit, but you got to wonder if those 5 penalties are weighing on her. It looked like she hesitated in that last jam, and then as a result, Calgary retaking the lead.
Yeah, definitely. It's always a tough one when you get up to that 5 points and you really don't want to. And here we go. Both jammers through about the same time, but Soul Wrecker picked up Mulan picked up lead jam. Soul Wrecker hot on her quad. Soul Wrecker hitting the pack at the same time. Mulan trying to make it through, pick up some points. And Soul Wrecker getting called for a back block, leaving Mulan out there as the lone jammer for this power jam.
Yeah, Soul Wrecker coming in hot. She wasn't lead. She was trying to pick up those points for Mulan Bruce could call it off, and a little bit too hard into that green monster at the back.
And again, Mulan doing that nice job, stopping on one skate to avoid that big hit, make it through. Another 5 points. Grand slam for Calgary.
Yeah, Rideau Valley desperately needs to keep her at a standstill. Once she has room to move, she's able to get past pretty much every blocker, including Team Canada member number 10 Murphy. 5 more points for Mulan Bruce.
I'm sensing a timeout for Rideau after this jam to regroup. They look like they might be getting a little frustrated out there. Again, this isn't something that they expected. Soul Wrecker with a cut track drawn.
No, she's being drawn back onto the track. It was a no pass, no penalty was indicated by her jammer ref.
Okay. Well, that's definitely good news for Rideau because they're not going to want to have Soul Wrecker in the box again for any jam, especially not this one.
Just checking to see what that last call was. Yes, she did pick up a track cut on the outside on turn 1 that time. And so the track cut that was not a track cut turns into a different track cut. Yeah. Time's going to run out in that jam.
And it looks like barely legal there. Actually, I believe she picked up a low block there. She hit Soul Wrecker after Soul Wrecker had been to the box. Saw some indication it may have clipped her knee a little bit low. So
136 to 114, a huge, and there's your timeout. You know, Dick, you said it was going to be called. I'm not surprised. You weren't surprised. Definitely a timely timeout by Rideau Valley. They really reset nicely in the first half, and they are reeling right now.
Oh, they definitely are. They're going to have to get things back together. We did. We saw it the last time they took the timeout when Calgary came out to that really, really strong start. And things seem to be actually going the same way as the first half, where maybe we'll see three 10-minute periods. Of course, advantage Calgary on that, so Rideau's got to make sure that doesn't happen. So if they come out and they regroup and they keep pushing and play the strong game, I know they can, then they can overtake and get this victory that they are expecting.
So not just a timeout, but an official review it has turned into for Ottawa, for Rideau Valley Roller Girls Vixens. Coach Adam wanting a review of one of the calls or lack of calls in the last jam, so we will get an update from parking lot, our announcer ref, and find out what happens. But before that happens, Riedel Skates are a tournament sponsor in the world of roller skating. Riedel Skates has no equal. For the truly demanding skater, Riedel offers the finest quality skating boot available with a comfort level to match. Whether you're interested in a comfortable skate that accentuates your style or you're looking to gain a competitive edge, Riedel has a skate for you. Hammer City Roller Girls would like to thank Riedel for the generous donations of MVP and raffle prizes.
And there's the end of the timeout, and we've got Lockjaw Lila as the lone jammer lining up on the Copy Dog jam line. Whistle goes, and Rideau just tightening up that wall. We've got 3-on-3 in the pack. Lockjaw Lila just bearing down a bean dip to the outside, picking up lead jam.
Yeah, Lila, the top scorer for Calgary, exactly the jammer I'd want to have out there on this power jam. That official review was on the track cut to Soul Wrecker at the end of that jam. Track cut stands. Power jam continues. There we go. 5 big points for Calgary, and not a bad challenge to do when you've fallen behind and you've got your best jammer in the box with Calgary's best jammer on the track. You're going to want to. Looks like Twitchblade is going to head to the box. Lockjaw Lila getting knocked to the outside, looking back, seeing Soul Record come and calling off that jam. 2 more points for Lila before she called it off. Margaret Choke knocking her to the ground, forcing that call off. Calgary now at 143, Rideau Valley at 114. Huge run by Calgary as a result of those jammer penalties in the last couple jams, Dick.
Yeah, definitely. And don't forget, folks, out there on the Twitterverse, if you want to talk to us, use hashtag Maple Stirrup. And here we go. We've got Chris My Ass out there for Calgary up against Sister Disaster. Sister Disaster making her way through, picking up lead jam just before turn 2. Chris My Ass, Honor Quaz just getting down into that speed skating stance. She's going to try to speed it up. And Sister Disaster making it through, picking up all 4 points and then calling off that jam.
Looks like it was a change just at the end there, deciding that last point was not gotten. So nice defense by Calgary. 3 points to Sister Disaster.
Now, I'm not sure Sister Disaster saw that change because she definitely nodded at the ref when she saw those 4 points. Like, yeah, that's how you do it.
So 143, 117. Calgary leading over Rideau Valley. Ostentatious versus Easy Break Oven. 4-on-3 with Twitch in the penalty box still for Calgary.
And Easy Break Oven getting knocked to the outside. Ostentatious getting a lead jam on that as Easy Break Oven comes back in and knocked to the outside once again, being recycled back, giving up her point. So that's potential for 5 big points for Ostentatious, with Easy Break Oven still on her initial pass. Rounding turn 2, Ostentatious hitting that wall of green and not making it much further.
Looks like a multiplayer block. She's going to send Bottom up to the box. That's trip number 6 for her. She's really got to be careful now. Easy Break Oven out of the pack. Ostentatious picking up 5 points. No more of a jammer race now. Jam gets called off, but that's 5-0 in that jam for Rideau Valley. 19 points separating the teams with 14.5 minutes remaining in this game. Again, Calgary looking to keep their standings. They need 27% of the points. Rideau Valley needs 68% of the points. So Calgary pretty much guaranteeing themselves that they're going to get at least 27% of the points, seeing as they're up by 20 right now.
Yeah, definitely. And it's as I said, I know I was talking to the captains, and they have a definite goal in mind of what percentage of the points they do want. As we've got Soul Record just driving that wall, the green wall, just the green monster not giving up. Moulin Bruise with her juking and jiving, making it through, picking up lead jam. Soul Record still stuck in the pack. Derby Girl's falling down everywhere. Soul Record making it through on her initial as Moulin Bruise hits that pack, trying to make that lead for Calgary even bigger. And she's driving and driving through, picks up 4 points. Lime is telling her to keep going. I guess he was impressed with the defense of Calgary. Kiki Tiki they're getting sent to the penalty box. And we've got Sinistar getting called for the low block. Looks like she wanted a back block on that, but she wasn't getting it. I'm going to agree with the refs on that call. I think she was on her way falling.
Kiki Tiki also with that low block. So 2 low blocks in a row, but the jam gets called off. 4 points for Soul Record. 3 more for Moulin Bruise. Calgary continuing to extend their lead. Score now 126 to 149. 12 and a half minutes remaining in this game. Rideau Valley needing to pull something out of their magic hat of tricks to close this gap in Calgary. Calgary needs to keep doing what Calgary is doing, playing a clean game. We'll have to see how this jam goes with a 4-on-2 pack advantage.
Yeah, a really nice job by Rideau keeping the 2 blockers, Susie Smoke Show and Barely Legal. To the outside, a track cut.
Yeah. Track cut after a star pass, no less.
Yeah, and it looks like they were trying to do that star pass just to ensure that, try to force that call off. And now, of course, Lockjaw Lila is the lone blocker over there. Oh, no, Kiki Tiki back out, as well as Sinistar 4-on-3 pack advantage. And it's a power jam for Rideau as Lockjaw Lila knocks Sister Disaster to the outside, back in. This is where we're going to see that defense from Calgary up against the offense for Rideau. Sister Disaster makes it through, picks up 5 more points, and calls off the jam.
And even more importantly for Rideau Valley, able to freeze Susie Smoke Show in the penalty box. She is standing. She is the jammer now. The track cut, the star pass happened successfully. Then the track cut happened, so she went to the penalty box. Sister Disaster able to put 14 points up before she called it off. So now only 13 points are separating these teams. Power start underway anyways.
Yeah, definitely not a situation that Calgary wants to be in, as Susie Smoke Show not being a primary jammer. Always manages to hold that line and not get the cut, so she's going to drive. Like I said, Susie Smoke Show, not a primary jammer. She is agile and she can hit, so she's going to try to power her way through. She does make it through, does not get lead. That is Soul Records. And now waiting to see what happens as Susie Smoke Show hits the back of that pack. Soul Record looks like she's going to try to run the score and pick up a few more points, knowing that Susie Smoke Show is not not a primary jammer, but she makes it through. Picks up 4 points as Soul Record calls it off after picking up 1 more.
Yeah, so that ends up working out fairly well for Calgary. Susie Smoke Show actually doing a pretty darn good job going from pivot to jammer, getting out of the penalty box, getting through an initial pass, and picking up 4 points of her own. 153 for the Calgary All-Stars, 142 for the Rideau Valley Vixens.
I don't know about you, Lou, but paying for this whole seat when I'm only using the edge. This is a really exciting, a really intense game. My heart is racing. I'm shaking, and I've only had 2 coffees.
Timeout called by Coach Lime and the Calgary bench. Not seeing that it's going to be an official review. Looks like it's just going to be a straight-up team timeout. Calgary was still with 1 more left. Rideau Valley with 2 left. Time is of the essence for both sides, really, here. Calgary, of course, looking to play the rankings game, But if you can play the ranking games and come away with the victory, that's even better.
That's a double bonus. I think probably the timeout is Calgary had some penalty trouble in that last jam, and it's not something they want to do. Cliche, but if your blockers aren't on the track, they're not helping your jammer or stopping the other jammers. So they're probably just regrouping. They know they're sure they're happy with the reffing, but things are being called. They've got to make sure that they adjust the way they play so that they're not taking those penalties and keep 4 blockers on. And here we go on the Copy Dog jammer line. We've got Ostentatious up against Chris Myass. Chris Myass trying to fake to the outside and then dipping to the inside. She gets knocked out, but right back in, so no cut track on that. And did not get drawn back. And just as I say that, drawn to the back as Ostentatious is still pushing up the front. Mamacita Muerte, Mickey Ficky, and Kiki Tiki drawing that bridge, and Ostentatious makes it through just before turn 3. Chris Myass squeezing her way around. No pass, no penalty. And she is now on her scoring pass.
Ostentatious is going to have to be careful. Gets her hips sideways. Picks up 2 points from Calgary. Score now 144-153. Both packs of blockers were able to hold the jammers in that pack for 30 seconds. Ostentatious getting out first, but Chris Myass getting out pretty much right behind her. Only 2 points managed by the Vixens. And the jammers have been impressive in this game, but I have to tell you, Dick, it's the defense, I think, that has really been the star out there. Both teams have had absolute moments of brilliance out there with blocking prowess.
Oh, the walls I'm seeing are like I'm amazed that the jammers are able to get through. They're almost impenetrable walls. And when a hole comes up and a jammer goes through, suddenly there's someone else there and they're reforming. And there we go. We've got Easy Break Oven out there for Calgary as the lead jam. Soul Wrecker just making out as Easy Break comes up on her scoring pass. The other thing with the defense with the blockers is it's not just defense on their simultaneous defense and offense, because they're knocking the other blockers out of the way so their jammer could get through. 2 points for Easy Break Oven on that one. 0 for Soul Wrecker.
An 11-point lead for Calgary as we are under the 8-minute mark. Cake and Loaf are tournament sponsors. Thanks to Cake and Loaf for providing our officials and volunteers with sweet and savory treats throughout the day. Cake and Loaf is a neighborhood bakery dedicated to using local, organic, and fair trade ingredients.
There we go. Moulin Brews up against Sister Disaster. And the tight packs are also leading where we're going for a long time before they even hit that first turn. And both jammers out.
Brennan going to have to let Moulin Brews go as well. Sister Disaster in the lead by just a bit. Hit to the outside. Calls off the jam. No points, Dak.
No, I believe that was Andy Linquin. Just... gave her that hole on the outside and took it away and sent her flying.
She's got a huge smile on her face at the end of that jam. She knows what she was able to do. Sister Disaster throwing a 360 in midair, a barrel roll over Andy Linquin's hip. Just fantastic.
Yeah, it looks like it may not have been a clean hit, though, because Andy Linquin is now in the box.
Ah, well.
As Soul Wrecker finds that inside line, just a nice little hop around Twitchblade's hit. Lockjaw Lila, the jammer out there for Calgary, pushing her way around turn 2. Last blocker to beat, then she makes it through on her initial pass as Soul Wrecker hits that pack on her scoring pass. Quick through, 4 points. We're going to look at some nickel and diamond while Rideau tries to... chip away at that lead. Right now we've got 7 points, 155 for the All-Stars, 148 for the Vixens, with this is about 6 minutes left.
Yeah, the Vixens fighting for honor now on this. They are not likely to meet their rankings goal in this game, but they don't want to walk away with a loss either. They're trying to close this gap. Calgary working hard to keep that lead. Chris Myass going up against Ostentatious. Ostentatious with an outside line getting lead jammer, Dick.
Yeah, that was a nice little move, but Chris Myass not too far behind her. She's going to give chase. Chris Moyas, when she pours on the Jets, she can catch almost anyone. Ostentatious picking up 2 points on that one as Andy Lincoln had come out of the box, and it was a nice job by Rideau there, where
someone picked up an illegal procedure. Yes, it was ostentatious at the end. A hit after the whistle, knocking down one of the blockers from Calgary. A late hit causing a penalty to Rideau Valley. It's going to be a power start, a full 30-second power jam for Calgary. Pivotal moment in the game for both teams here.
Yeah, definitely easy break oven lining up on that copy dog jammer line. Getting knocked. A big hit to the inside. Looks like number 49, Brennan, drawing her all the way back. Calgary was unable to prevent her from getting to the back of the pack. But easy break back up there at turn one. 3 blockers to beat. She makes it through, picks up lead jam just as Ostentatious comes out of the box. So power start, but no power jam. But Ostentatious still on her jammer line, and we have an apex jump. 5 big points by easy break oven. And Lucy Flawless being sent out. Looked like a high block, I think. I could be wrong. Another 5 points. A grand slam for easy break. Ostentatious making it out now on a scoring pass, as easy break oven is going to hit the back of that pack first. See if she goes in and calls it off quickly, or if, she called it off and prevented the points, Lou.
Yeah, 2 more points for easy break oven. She may have been shut down for the first 30 seconds of that jam, but really pouring on the energy in the last 30 seconds. Gets 12 points for Calgary, extends their lead to 17 now. It was down to 5. The Vixens had been pushing hard. Calgary with a big jam in the dying minutes of this game. 3 minutes, 22 seconds remain, Dick.
Yeah, easy break with that apex jump. She's got those really long legs, really easy for her. Now, we've got Moulin Bruce out there up against Soul Wrecker. Soul Wrecker's definitely got her work cut out for her up against Kiki Tiki, Andy Lincoln, and Mamacita Muerte, with Lucy Flawless just coming out of the box. Soul Wrecker knocked to the outside, forced to recycle back. Moulin Bruce making it through, picking up lead jam. Soul Wrecker not too far behind her.
So now the question is, how much time does Lime want to kill on this clock? He's trying to get his pack moving forward. He wants the green at the front of the pack.
I think he may just be wanting to speed it up, with the 3 jammer rotation that Rideau's doing. Just keep it moving, make Soul Wrecker skate a little bit more.
No points to either side. Valuable seconds ticked off the clock. Almost a full minute gone from the last time we reported in the time. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in this game. We're heading down to the last jam territory. Calgary with a 17-point lead over the number 47 ranked Rideau Valley Vixens. Lockjaw Lila taking a star against Sister Disaster in what could be the last jam of the game.
Lockjaw Lila just up on her toe stops, making it around turn 1, picking up lead jam. That bodes well for Calgary, as Sister Disaster still in the pack. Rideau doing their best job to get her through, providing some offense. We've got Sinistar out there stopping her. One last. We've got Barely Legal knocking her out. And Sister Disaster getting called for the cut. Lockjaw Lila out there as the lone jammer. This will be a power jam for Calgary with a minute 28 left, Lou.
Yeah, they should be able to kill the majority of the time left in this game. Sister Disaster just over-rotating around the hip of Sinistar, coming in from the outside. Little bit too much. No chance to preserve the cut. And this game has gone Calgary's way in the last 6 minutes.
It definitely has, and it looks like Calgary is not going to play that passive offense. They got up there, and they were doing some offensive blocking, trying to make sure Lockjaw got through, and she does with another 5 big points for Calgary. And there we go, Sister Disaster out of the box. Calgary back to the defense.
Only 2 seconds separate the jammer clock and the period clock. So we can get one more jam in if one of the coaches gets a quick timeout call. Sisters Disaster out of the pack now. Lockjaw Lilas get called off. I suspect we'll see a timeout call. Yes, we do.
Yeah, definitely a timeout call. We've got a 27-point lead for Calgary at this point. 28-point lead.
28 points.
Now,
changing before our eyes. That's a great result for Calgary so far.
Definitely a great result. It's it's more than a lot of people expected. I'm sure it's more than what Rideau expected. Again, though, Calgary being out west, no one has really gotten a chance to see them. I was saying that I was expecting Calgary to give Rideau a run for their money.
Yep.
I wasn't sure if they were going to pull off the win. I'm still not sure if they're going to pull off the win. One jam left, 27 points. It's going to be tough for Rideau, but if anyone can do it, Soul Wrecker can. We do have a 4-on-3 pack advantage with Chrissy Cruiser sitting in the box for Calgary.
And Team Canada teammates lining up once again. They started the game, and they're going to end the game with the stars on their helmets. What's going to be the end result? 178-150, 28 points separating the teams. Final jam underway, Dick.
Yeah, and there we go. Rideau right off the bat going with the offense. They want to get Soul Wrecker out there, and they want to get her lead jam. And Chris My Ass with lead jam. Now we're going to see what happens. Yes, I thought this might happen. Lime is instructing her to not skate. They are not going to risk that penalty. So Chris My Ass is just going to sit there. This is probably actually killing Chris My Ass because she wants to be there. She gets through. She calls off the jam, and that's it. Unofficially, Calgary takes the win.
Yeah, unless there's some sort of huge mathematical error, you got to think Calgary's got the win there. That's going to do massive things to their rankings. This will damage Rideau Valley a little bit, but again, these only count towards the 2015 rankings. Which is not going to affect the playoffs this year.
No, it's not going to affect the playoffs, but that is what Calgary is playing for. As they're playing for the 2015, they want to make it to D2 next year. They could have done it this year if they had the games booked. But they didn't have the games booked. They had those 3 games back in February. They've been playing against some tough competition, but not WFTDA competition.
Right. Yeah, they want to maximize their advantage. They've traveled a long way. Canada, a huge country. Alberta is nowhere near Ontario. You drove from Calgary, and it took you 3 days to get here?
It actually took us 4. We had the kids and the mother-in-law, so we actually took our time. We weren't in a rush, family vacation. I believe actually someone told me it was 2,701 kilometers.
That sounds about right. If you're American, that's somewhere in the 1,800-mile range, I believe.
I think
my math is correct.
We probably drove further because we got lost a couple times.
So yes, the score goes to final 178-150. The 105th WFTDA ranked team, the Calgary Roller Derby Association All-Stars, taking the win over the Rideau Valley Roller Girl Vixens, ranked number 47. Now, Calgary, again, looking to maximize the points they can get while they are out here in Ontario. They will play another game today. They will be facing off against Forest City, and that is at 4 o'clock. And tomorrow there is a hangover game against the host Hammer City. So it's going to be interesting to see what Forest City can bring against the devastation that Calgary has brought against Rideau Valley. Forest City's got to be a little bit concerned, but not so concerned that they're not going to pay attention to the next game that comes up in about 25 minutes. Noon Eastern Daylight Saving Time is going to see Hammer City, the hosts, facing off against Forest City, the Timber Rollers from London, Ontario. And man, that was a heck of a game.
I'm almost speechless. I think maybe next time Rideau could take a lesson from some Canadian politics, and Ottawa can start paying a little bit more attention to the West.
Exactly, and keep your jammers out of the penalty box, because as we've shown once again, jammer penalties will kill you every time. 6 trips to 2 for Rideau Valley over Calgary. Calgary taking advantage when advantage was given, winning this game. I'm Captain Lil Bammo.
I'm Dick Pounder. I will see you again at 8 p.m. for Hammer versus Rideau.
And in about 24 minutes, Forest City versus Hammer City at the Maple Stirrup in Ancaster, Ontario's Morgan Firestone Arena. See you soon.